Uh. What up? What up? Good evening. Welcome to Late Night with BDD. I'm your host, BDD, aka Brooklyn Dad. Welcome, you guys. Glad to be here. Thank you for coming. Thank you for stopping by. It's been about a week since I've seen you guys. I see my friends here. Let's see. We got Tina G, of course. Lori Donahue. Somebody named the Darkbird. I'm seeing a lot of comments from you. I'm not recognizing the handle, but welcome to you. Foxhill Dreams, Stephanie L, Shelterisa, Monique Lee, Aries Wanderer, Cindy C, Veronica Tello, Lynn Ali, Shell Paulette, long time no see. Welcome, you guys. Quite a bit has happened. I'm still a little bit in summer mode. Your boy Ken, welcome back, my friend. Darkbird says I know them from Twitter. Okay, I see Bacon Cake Nest from Connecticut, Dana from South Jersey. Hello, the Trump Reaper. Okay, so first things first. That was a hell of a speech we saw earlier tonight, and I've said this before about President Biden's speeches, and I wonder if that's just because, the expectations are still low for some reason. I kind of keep my expectations for President Biden's speeches kind of around here because we all know, when he's got a script in front of him, he does, he delivers. But sometimes there's a few moments where you kind of hold your breath because he jumbles his words a little bit. He's got that stutter. It's a challenge. He's human, right? But this was a hellified speech. Before I get into it, though, let me just get the light shit out of the way. I got some light shit, some good feeling, some feel-good shit. Eddie G, what's up, my friend? Claudia, I see you too. There you go. I've been watching some movies of late, and when I say of late, I mean I'm late to getting around to seeing them. One of them has been out for a minute. It's Tom Cruise's latest entry in the Top Gun series. It's only actually the second one. Top Gun Maverick, where he reprises his role. He's got a need for speed, and he deals with ghosts from his past, and that ghost would be Goose the ghost, and Goose had a son, and his son is named Rooster, so Goose had a rooster. Great movie. It's great. The action is good. The acting, you know what, Tom Cruise gets a lot of shit, and I get it. He's part of a weird Scientology cult, but he brings it. The dude brings it. I have mad respect for him. He flies his planes, and he rides his motorcycles, and he does his stunts. You gotta hand it to that dude. He goes all out to entertain us, and yeah, he gets paid handsomely, but still, he doesn't have to do that shit. He doesn't have to. He's a celebrity. He's a star. He could, have a stuntman do all of his shit, but he wants to do that. And I'm not going to say anything about the movie other than he brought it. He brought it. It was great. I loved it. Loved it so much. Loved it. And last night, my daughter, Tiny Pops, she asked, Dad, can we see the Minions movie? Now, this young lady, she's not a big fan of going to see movies in general. She used to sit on the couch with us and watch movies back in the day. And so when she shows an interest in movies, I'm like, yes, sir. So we saw the Minions movie last night. There was only 2 other people in the theater with us, which was great. And I'm told that wifey and I were laughing like the loudest you could hear us from the parking lot. We were laughing that loud. It's very funny. The whole movie We laughed through that whole movie. It's very funny, really. I mean, if you need an excuse to go see it, like, you know, you don't need to have kids to enjoy this, but I get it. That's it for the latest movies. I have TV shows galore, but I'm not going to discuss those tonight. Let's jump right into it. Jamie Raskin has announced that he is seeking leadership for the House Oversight Committee. You guys know Jamie Raskin. Jamie Raskin has a very personal connection to January 6th. He was mourning the loss of his son when that went down. He was there at the Capitol. You know, he's been an integral part of the goings on in the House. He was involved in the impeachment of Donald Trump. He is a fine speaker, excellent speaker, excellent leader. I hope he gets it. You know, we need more strong, powerful leaders to lead us into the next decade and through this century. I love Jamie Raskin. I love him. He wears his heart on his sleeve. I trust somebody who emotes, who you can see when you can see that they feel the same pain and same emotions you feel. I love him. A huge victory. This year, I swear to God, I've been paying attention to races that I've never, ever, I swear to you, have never cared what happened in Alaska. Sorry, Cindy. It's just, I'm being honest. Cindy, don't be mad at me. But, Simon is watching me on Twitter. His name is Padraig. Why is he watching me on the Twitter? You know what? I got to stop broadcasting this thing on Twitter. Going forward, I believe I'm just going to stop because I think the Twitter views are cannibalizing my live views. I'm going to just stop putting this on Twitter. Just giving you guys a heads up. If you're watching me on Twitter, I'm not interacting with you. I can see my comments here. I could see, Veronica Tello saying, "Hey, Alaska, you did us proud." And Alaska Cindy saying Mary Peltola is a rock star, and rock star indeed she is. She is the first Native Alaskan to be elected to the House of Representatives. This is humongous. This is huge. But it's not just huge for Alaska. It's huge for the Democratic Party. I have a slide here. Let me blow this up so you can all see this here. It's hard to understate the importance of Trump-endorsed Sarah Palin getting trounced tonight in Alaska, flipping a House seat that has been Republican for over 49 years. Republicans thought that overturning Roe v. Wade was a big win for them, but it unleashed a blue wave instead. Now, we saw what happened in Kansas. Kansas was a massive win for the Roe v. Wade advocates, for the pro-choice advocates. Humongous win. And likewise, Alaska people thought was a foregone conclusion. This is a Republican state. And so who was that dude? I believe that was this guy from Occupy Democrats, Omar Rivero. Yeah, I think he's the leadership at Occupy Democrats. Where was I? Thank you, Tom. Tom, thank you for the kind comments. Love your tweets. Keep up the good fight against the Republican trash. Here's the thing about this Alaska election. Aries Wanderer, thank you very much. Thank you for the kind donation. Here's the thing about the Alaska election. It was ranked choice voting. And I'm going to do the best I can to describe it. Basically, you have your main choice, right? But you also have to rank your second choice and your third choice. And after the person who gets the most votes wins, then they rank the choices of they tally up how many people got picked for second, and how many people got picked for third, and that's how they end up eliminating people. So Republicans specifically set up this election in Alaska to be ranked choice voting. Why? Because they believed it was going to penalize, it was going to punish Lisa Murkowski, who they were pissed off at for the way she's voted for impeachment and for January 6th and blah, blah, blah. Well, funny thing happened on the way to the polls was that it backfired on them. It backfired spectacularly. Cecile Kazemi, thank you, my friend. Thank you very kindly for the kind donation. Oh, Eddie G has jumped in also with the donation. Thank you very much. Thank you. Cindy is pointing out, unless someone gets over 50%. That's about as deep as I'm going to dive into that discussion of ranked choice voting. What at the bottom line is Mary Peltola won, and it is a positive sign for the Democratic Party. Overall, we're seeing wins. Thank you, my friend, your boy Ken. Thank you very much, buddy. Thank you. It's a positive sign, and we're seeing more and more of this, kind of like what happened with Pat Ryan the other week. Pat Ryan winning the special election in New York's 19th district. See, these are positive signs, and in the days, weeks, and months leading up to today, the conventional wisdom was like, well, it's a midterm election and a Democrat is in the White House, and typically what happens is a Democrat, when there's a Democratic president, they suffer massive losses in the House and in the Senate. That's just a foregone thing. That's the standard. That's what happens. Well, the actual midterm has not happened yet, but all signs seem to be pointing to an anomaly, that this year is very different. Ness from Connecticut, thank you, my friend. Thank you very much. And Val Bowen says, yo, BDD from Trinidad and Tobago. What's up, Val? Thank you. So this is a positive development. Meanwhile, you guys are familiar with the True Social, right? True Social is the Donald Trump application. It's the MAGA version of Twitter. Well, it's not doing so hot these days. Nope. They haven't been paying their bills, and they got denied for a trademark. And as of today or yesterday, this is what the hallway looks like at True Social. It's deserted. There's nobody there. Nobody there. LB Studios says they call it Trash Social. That's funny. Trash Social. So, yeah, I don't feel bad for them at all. In fact, it's funny as hell. It is funny as hell. And I keep raging about this on Twitter. I don't know how many more times I can rage about it. Sharing, the tweeting and the retweeting of the Truth Social posts, like, guys, we might as well just bring Trump back onto Twitter if this is what's going to happen. I'm not even talking about these small accounts. I'm talking about big Democratic accounts. I'm not calling any names. I'm just saying, come on, man, please let Truth Social die the disgraceful death that they are meant to die without giving them oxygen. Don't give them oxygen. Don't post something that's going to make some MAGA head say, oh, yeah, man, I better go and subscribe to Truth Social. No, let it fail. With that said, right, this is my broadcast, and there's hardly anybody watching this, so I'm not concerned about the reach of Truth Social, so I'm breaking that rule. You hypocrite. I don't care. This this post was funny as hell. No, by the way, just having this on my screen here for a few seconds, it's no big deal. Anyway, he posted this the other day. Why are people so mean? And that shit is just hilarious to me. Hilarious. My soul is still laughing behind this. Why are people so mean? And I guess, I guess he's talking about the whole thing with the documents that the FBI found at Mar-a-Lago, and they took pictures of it. It's just funny as hell. The whole thing. He keeps changing his excuses. He actually is posting his confessions. He's posting his confessions. No, Eddie G, I'm not saying you're nobody. No, I'm not saying that at all. Of course, the people who are. What I mean is, I don't have massive numbers of people. That's what I meant to say. I should have said that. I don't have massive numbers of people watching, right? But anyway, he is posting his confessions like this picture here. It's hilarious, right? He's saying, just so you know, I didn't leave those documents on the floor. They were neatly packed in cartons or whatever the hell he said. Like, dude, first you said they were planted. Then he said they were declassified, and he did not have the authority to declassify these in his mind. Just mental, just a standing declassification. Automatically, anything put on paper, before I'd even looked at it, it's declassified. It's not how it works, stupid. You dumbass. So he's complaining that they put the way they arranged these on the floor makes it look like he did that. It wasn't like that. He had them hidden in cartons. He's screwing himself so badly. I mean, the FBI, the authorities or whatever, the DOJ, they asked him for these documents. His lawyers said, "We gave you these documents." No, you did not. No, you didn't. No, because we have them right here in your messy, horrible carpet room. What is the deal with this carpet? The guy is supposedly a billionaire, but this is the kind of shit he puts on the floors at his... What do they charge? I think he charges like $100,000, $200,000 for a membership to that shitty-ass club, Mar-a-Lago. And that's what he puts on the floor? Disgraceful. It's disgusting. These weren't his documents to take. They weren't his documents to take. They weren't his documents to declassify. They weren't his documents to keep stashed in a resort that has, worse security than a Waffle House. Okay? They weren't his. And on top of it, he's using the Truth Social to freaking rat on himself. I also love the fact that somebody close to him, Fredo, somebody close to him ratted on him and told the feds, you guys don't have all the documents. There's more in the closet. Check your safe. Check this place. Nah, somebody close to him. So yeah, every day, it seems like every day that goes by, there's a new shoe. There's another shoe that's dropping on his big fat head, and I'm happy for it. I'm happy. He made life miserable for quite a few people. The Republicans are upset that President Biden said that was calling MAGA Republicans semi-fascists. And yeah, I'm upset about that too, because I think they're full-on fascists, personally. They are full-on fascists. But, you you don't get the sense from President Biden that he is trolling Americans. He is directing his ire at the people who would incite violence. The people who would incite violence against authorities, against the freaking feds, the FBI, against, the January 6th. Today, that guy, the eye gouger, what's his name? Thomas Webster. Today, Thomas Webster was sentenced to 10 years in prison. That is the most anyone has been sentenced for a January 6th offense. And there's still people going. People are still in the queue waiting to be sentenced. So good for his ass. Serves him right. And he lied. He lied about why he was putting his hands in that cop's eyes, wanted him to show where his hands were. Some bullshit. Come on, man. Come on with that bullshit. So let's jump right on in now to the battle for the soul of the nation. President Biden's speech was held in Philadelphia. I believe it was is Scribble My Dibbles here? I see people saying, Mama Nicola there. Where's Scribble My Dibbles? Ah, there she is. That's my sister. I love you so much. And I miss you. I mean to call you every day. And then I just, I don't. If you're going to be up after this, I would love to speak with you on the phone. Tom, our friend Tom here wants to know, by the way, did you totally drop CNN for MSNBC? Yeah, over a year ago. I'll try to give you the Reader's Digest version of why I did. I sensed a definite shift in their coverage of our President Biden. A shift in their coverage they were basically piling on him. They were looking to kneecap President Biden and make it difficult for him by giving a Republican spin to a lot of things, like the Afghanistan thing was one. Inflation, they're not stupid. They know that inflation was global. It was worldwide. They know that, and yet they had these stories that made it look like President Biden was at fault for the gas prices and come on now. For the first time in my life, I went abroad. I went to New Zealand, and they had high prices there too. And I interviewed a whole lot of the locals there, and they were like, "What? Why would I blame President Biden? That's stupid. Why are you asking me this? That's a stupid question." So anyway, then Tom, to summarize my answer to you, recently learned that the leadership at CNN, Chris Licht, met with Republican politicians, Republican members of Congress, and told them that they were going to modify or skew their political coverage, they asked them, how can we better present these political stories to invite more Republican viewers? So that's basically where they're at. So yeah, I'm done with CNN. Thank you for the question. Okay, so President Biden spoke in Philadelphia, and his speech was directly taking on MAGA Republicans and the threat that they pose to America. First, before I move any further, let me discuss this Dark Brandon thing that I've been embracing. And I'm not alone. There's a lot of people who've been embracing it. As you guys know, the Brandon phenomenon began about a year ago. There was a reporter interviewing a race car driver. I think it was NASCAR or something. And the driver's name was Brandon. And people in the crowd, when this reporter was interviewing the driver, people in the crowd were saying, fuck Joe Biden. Fuck Joe Biden. So naturally, she could hear it. I'm not sure if she was able to hear it clearly. Nobody will ever know. But she said they must be saying, let's go, Brandon. And then that became the meme that just took on a life of all its own. And they were like, yeah, that's the deep state trying to gaslight us. No, it was just a reporter who couldn't hear what the hell you knuckleheads were saying. So yeah, they started making Let's Go Brandon t-shirts, and the Let's Go Brandon was code for fuck Joe Biden. You're so clever. You're so clever, and you guys with your stickers and your hats and your t-shirts and your that. And then, I don't know when it happened, but at some point when President Biden started racking up wins earlier this year, perhaps, Democrats decided, you know what, we are going to reclaim this Brandon thing. We're going to flip it on them, and we're going to turn Brandon into Dark Brandon. Oh my God. And they hate it so much. They hate it. And I love it. I love it because I can see them on my tweet threads, and they're like, you guys are so stupid. They're like, what does that even mean? Dark Brandon. That's dumb. That's stupid. Why are you doing that? Yeah, okay. You knuckleheads running around throwing I did that stickers everywhere and wearing your Let's Go Brandon shit. Come on, get the hell out of here. Anyway, let's get back to Dark Brandon. Dark Brandon had a very specific message, for MAGA Republicans that he lambasted for their violent political rhetoric. He made it clear there is no room. There's no room for that shit here. Not in this America. Let's see, where am I? Wait, here we go. Oh, let's start, Brandon. There is no place for political violence in America. This is not who we are. Yeah? And he had some other, he had a whole lot of shit to say. I like pissed off, riled up Dark Brandon. I like it. This is one of his more memorable quotes from tonight. It says, democracy cannot survive when one side believes there are only two outcomes to an election. Either they win or they were cheated. And that's where the MAGA Republicans are today. You can't love your country only when you win. It's fun. I'm so glad he said that because, I am a Knicks fan, right? I'm a New York Knicks fan. Those of you who follow basketball will know that it takes a lot to admit that you're a New York Knicks fan. We perennial tragedy story in basketball. We suck. We suck. Every year we suck. There's different degrees of suck. Sometimes we suck less. Sometimes we suck more, a lot more. But the bottom line is, whether my team has 0 wins and 82 losses, God forbid, if that should ever happen, let me knock on wood that doesn't happen, because it could. But, whether they finish off the season like that, or if they win the championship trophy before I die at least one more time, whether either of those outcomes happen, that's my team. That's my team. And when they lose, I don't spend weeks, days, weeks, months, and years complaining that the game was rigged against them. I don't. You know what? Sometimes a referee will not get the call right. Yeah, sometimes they should have called a foul. They should have called a travel on the other guy. But that's the way the ball bounces. And you gotta get over it. And as these Trumpers told us for fucking 4 years. They're like, you lost. Move on. Get over it. They told us that shit for 4 years. And we weren't even... I remember being pissed off. I remember thinking that the election was stolen. Yeah, I remember that. I was like, the wind was knocked out of me. When, like, immediately following the election and probably for 4 or 5 months after the election. I was flabbergasted. But then I moved on. When it came time for the midterms, 2018, I was fired up. And my only focus was win. That's it. Hey, sometimes you win and sometimes you lose. Stacey Abrams didn't win. Andrew Gillum didn't win. I don't recall calling. Did I call any of those? I'm gonna have to look at my tweets now. I'm sure somebody will pull up. Hey, you were complaining about Stacey Abrams and Andrew Gillum's losses. Whatever, Bottom line is, you can't have a democracy where you are calling into question the outcome of every single election that you don't win. And that was President Biden's point. And he made it very eloquently. In fact, I heard some of the commentators after the speech, I want to say it was Michael Beschloss, I think it was him, who said that President Biden was primarily responsible for the contents of that speech. Some people thought that he might have already had that thing written up for a while and just pulled it out, for tonight. A lot of people were asking me on my tweets, they were saying, what's the reason do you think President Biden is coming out with this? Do you think he's preparing us? Because a lot of the content of his speech tonight was anti-violence. He made that point very clear. And some people were asking, do you think that he is preparing us for violence to erupt if Trump is arrested or when Trump is arrested? I don't know. I don't think so, because I don't believe that President Biden is involved in any planning with the DOJ. I don't think he has any knowledge of timing of indictments or arrests or any of that shit. That's what I don't think that is. But here's something that interesting that happened during his speech. There was a guy, a heckler with a bullhorn. And here's a tweet from Really American. President Biden calling out bullhorn hecklers, exclaimed, "Good manners is nothing they've suffered from." And he said that, in response to, you couldn't even hear what the protester was saying. Frankly, it was just like noise. It was like a dull buzz in the background. And I got to hand it to President Biden. He just kept on motoring straight through his speech. For a guy who has a stutter, a speech impediment, I'm pretty sure it was a bullhorn. Can't be sure. But he didn't diss the guy. I remember so many times Trump was getting razzed at one of his rallies, and he's like, "Get that guy out of here," punch him in the face or some shit, like he was not being kind about this protest. Get him out of here. But President Biden not only was not, he wasn't unkind to this heckler. In fact, he said that is a democracy. He is entitled to be outraged, he said. And he kept on with his speech. What a guy. He was a fucking man tonight. I was very proud of him. Very proud. And I've been proud of him before. And I guess, again, my expectations, I am managing my own expectations. When you're watching somebody you admire walk a tightrope, you know, you don't exhale until that shit is finished. And yeah, he did his thing. He did his thing. And let me see, hold on. Yeah, that was so that was the speech tonight. What did you guys think? I personally, I don't think that he is trying to prepare us for civil war, but interesting comments are being made about civil war. A poll was taken, and 43% of Americans polled believe that a civil war is inevitable here in America. 43%. That's a lot. It's not half, but it's just 7 points shy of half. That's weird. It's weird to me. It's unfathomable. It's unfathomable. The last time a civil war was fought here, does anybody have the number? Was it 1 million people that died in the Civil War? And that's when they were fighting with those bayonets, you know, the guns with a pointy, you know, with a blade on the end of them, and these guns that took like a minute to reload. Come on. I mean, I find it hard to believe because I think people, you know, love comfort now. I think we as humans are more inclined to, you know, we love our creature comforts. And I can't imagine all the Meal Team 6 folks out there, you know, with bellies bigger than mine, you know, hunkering down in a, you know, in a gutter somewhere, sleeping outside days and nights. You know, I don't see that at all. And you know, the military is pretty awesome right now. The United States military is not to be messed with. If you decide to take on the military, I feel sorry for you. A little bit of beauty. Thank you, my friend, for the kind donation. Thank you. Smila J has an interesting comment here. She says, I don't think it'll be civil war, but there will be angry glances if people talk about their political views. I suppose I'm ready for exchanging political pleasantries. I don't ever shy away from sharing my point of view. I have done so, and I try to keep it civil as much as possible. You know, try to understand that the person on the other side, the person that I'm talking to in real life, is a human being, and they're entitled to their opinion. And, you know, but I sometimes I feel responsible. Like if I hear somebody spewing some nonsense that's bullshit, you know, I gotta tell them. I was like, hey, look, I hate to burst your bubble, but somebody's fed you some misinformation. Oh, that's fake news. Well, let me show you. Actually, I have sources. They can't all be fake. They can't all be fake. 5, 6, 7 different sources, and just this one source you're reading, Breitbart, says this thing, and it must be true. Come on, man. Come on. You know. So yeah, I definitely do not want a civil war. I would love for us to just get back to. For us to get back to how politics were in 2000. Let's call it 2002, or even 2001. Right? I hated George W. Bush. I hated him. Huh? That election, the election of 2000. I was mad. I was fiercely mad. But Al Gore was like, "Hey, I don't want to do this to the nation. So, you know, I'm not going to contest this." I was still mad, and I hated George W. Bush, but you know, I was able to just live my life being pissed off about who the president was. And then when 9/11 happened, we all rallied. We all, came together. 9/11 kind of galvanized America. It kind of brought us to where we should be. We united against a common enemy. What's that common enemy now? I would say it should be MAGA. Common enemy. It's MAGA Republicans. They're terrible. They are terrible. Did you guys see? There's a video out there. Really American has retweeted it. It's on my Twitter feed. Republicans want to. They want to raise, if they regain control of Congress, they want to raise the price of prescription drugs. Not lower, raise. They want to raise. Let me say that again so you understand it, you guys in the back there. Republicans want to raise the price of prescription drugs if they regain control. And before that, any of that even happens, this recent ruling about college tuitions, not ruling, but President Biden says he wants to forgive college debt up to $10,000 per student. Good. All three of my kids, all three of my adult sons already finished college. Years. My youngest son, Malik, is already a freaking scientist. He's already finished, done his thing. And I do not begrudge those students who might get a $10,000 break on their tuition. Some people complain, they criticize and say it's not enough money. You know what? Try to tell me, here's $10,000 to help defray some of the cost of your bills. You think I'm going to turn that shit down? Hell to the no. And all too often, college tuition debt is crippling. It is way more today than it was, back when we were kids, or back when our parents went to school, or their parents went to school. When our parents' went to college, their tuition maybe cost $100 a year or $200 a year or something. They didn't have to hock their whole future. They didn't have to spend 20 years paying back a debt, and that amount of time that they spend paying back that debt, they can't build anything. So you're basically holding people back with this ridiculous, outrageous debt. If nothing else happens from this, I hope a bigger discussion opens up, because like I said, there's people on the left who say that's not enough. That may be, at some point, maybe that amount will get increased. But we went from $0 to $10,000, okay? How many dollars do you think you would have gotten from a Republican president? Also 0, okay? So we went from $0 to $10,000. And perhaps a future Democratic president can raise it from $10,000 to $20,000, or from 10 to 30, whatever. But that's how progress happens. Not in leaps and bounds, but in baby steps. Fred saying, hey, can anyone hear me? I see you, Fred. There you go. Here we go. Here's an interesting, thank you, Jim. Jim says tuition in 1985, $2,500 for 18 credit hours. Wow. That is amazing. Yeah, so it's a very different world now. You have some schools that charge $30,000 per semester. And the interest on these debts is killing people. The interest alone. So yeah, something needs to be done about this. But in the meantime, yeah, let's give the students a leg up in this situation. And yes, Fred, I have read Malcolm X, the autobiography of Malcolm X by, what is it? Guy who wrote Roots. I want to say Aldous Huxley. Am I wrong? Malcolm X? Anyway, Ted Cruz was talking about Republicans are mounting a bunch of, are talking about putting a bunch of lawsuits out there to challenge President Biden's student debt forgiveness plan. That's shitty. Alex Haley. Thank you. It's Alex Haley. Malcolm X's autobiography. So, yeah, forget about what the Republicans are doing right now. Let's chalk up yet another win to President Biden. He's saying that every time he said he was going to do something, he actually did it. I mean, this is a historic number of legislative wins. Whether you love him or you hate him, you cannot deny he's delivering. And Democrats should not run away from President Biden's successes, because President Biden's successes are the Democratic Party's successes, and they ultimately helping all Americans, not just blue Americans, Democratic Americans, but Republicans, but independents, everybody, whatever you are, all these wins are meant to help all Americans. So yeah. Any questions from you guys? This is a late night with BDD, so this was kind of just thrown together impromptu. I want to bring us up to date. Candace Doomy, and he also showed his tax returns. Very good point, indeed. Lucielle, with the important reminder that we need to win more seats, and that is an excellent point, because it's not just the Senate. We often hear that the Senate, John Fetterman is beating Dr. Oz into dust. Reverend Warnock is beating Herschel Walker. It should be by a shit ton more. Tim Ryan is actually trailing his opponent, JD, whatever the fuck his last name is. That guy is losing to him. Val Demings is doing well against Marco Rubio. And Mandela Barnes is doing well against Ron Johnson. These are early numbers and they're polls, and you shouldn't put stock in them, and you shouldn't allow a poll to make you stay home on November, 6th or the 8th? You got to get out and vote, and you got to bring people with you to vote. Veronica Tello, thank you, my friend. Thank you very much for that. Thank you for that. Let's see. And here's a reminder, please. Remember to hit the like button. Smash it. Don't break your computer, but smash that like button, please. It helps the show. How was my day, as Smila J wants to know? It was all right. I can't complain. I'm trying to keep cool. I stay indoors with the AC as much as possible. Lucielle wants to know, how are my cats? The cats are lovely. We have a bunch of boxes here in the dining room. I don't know why we just keep these boxes, because the boxes, cats love boxes, and we love watching the cats play and act the fool. Trump Reaper wants to know, will you be doing the super follower thing on Twitter? I don't think so. I don't see the point of it. What? As I understand it, I'm be charging people to read my tweets. Why would I do that? It doesn't make any sense. I mean, I understand you could possibly make money from that, but it seems weird to me. It just seems weird. So my answer for now, unless somebody is able to offer a compelling argument for why I should be doing it, it feels strange. It feels very strange to me, you know. Oh, speaking of which, there's going to be an edit button on Twitter, but you have to pay. Yeah, you got to pay, I think, $3 a month to subscribe to Twitter Blue. And I asked the question earlier today. Twitter is offering an edit button. Yay or nay? Do you like it or not? And most people were like, nah, why would I do that? You know, I'll just, if I make a typo, I'll just delete my tweet and post it again. But a lot of these folks are the same ones who are like, hey, when are we going to get at the edit button? So you can never please everybody. But, you know, so I don't think I'll be doing the super follower thing. Sherry Scary. Sherry received her coming soon to a prison near you Spanky McDumbass BDD shirt. Every once in a while, when I'm feeling ornery, when I feel like stirring some shit up, I throw that t-shirt on and I go to the Costco. And I look people in the face like, yeah, what? You want to say something? Yeah, I don't really want to start any shit, but it's funny because I can back up my shit. You see some really funny things online. I constantly get people talking about, hey man, why you try to act like a tough guy online, but you're really a beta male? Like, I never called myself a tough guy. Hey, I wear wigs on this show. You know, the fact that you think that I'm a tough guy, it says more about you than it does about me, right? So maybe you need to go into therapy and talk to your therapist about that guy who took your woman, the guy who took your job, who happens to look like me, that guy who emasculated you and, you know, left you in a puddle of your own sad. You know, why am I digressing so much? Aries Wanderer says, don't pay attention to the media polls. They are not election results. Yes, this is correct. Wilbur McCarthy also saying, no matter what polls say, let's act like we're 20 points down. We can't get complacent. This is true. And, you know, we did an excellent job. Of not being complacent in 2018. Maybe we could, you know, paraphrase that whole message and say, you know, act like it's 2018. Because 2018, we kicked ass. It was legendary. Indeed. Monique Lee is on her way to Brooklyn next week. I wonder, I hope you have nice weather. Because this past week has been 90s and almost no rain, so it stands to reason that we might have rain next week. So let's see. Hey, Fred, I see your comments there. You're kind of on a rant about liberals. You're in a room full of liberals, and none of us consider ourselves the enemy. All right. You're saying white liberals are the biggest enemy to America, according to Malcolm X. So here's the one thing I don't like. Let me just point out something to you, Fred. Okay. Malcolm X went on a journey, and luckily for me, I read his whole story. Okay. I didn't close the book at the part where he said the white man is the blonde-haired, blue-eyed devil. I kept reading. And he didn't close his book on himself either. He kept living and learning. And he made his pilgrimage to Mecca, and he prayed right next to a blonde-haired, blue-eyed devil. And this man took him home and treated him like royalty, fed him, and they had discussions, and then he learned that he was wrong. This is a part of Malcolm X's story that doesn't get out quite as much as it should, and I'm here to let you know Malcolm X is my hero. One of my son's middle name is Malcolm, after Malcolm X. So yeah, he became enlightened after he made his pilgrimage to Mecca. So please do not come on my show and try to spread misinformation. I don't appreciate it, okay? Yeah. Let's see. Yeah. Candace Toomey says $9.99 a month to super follow someone wouldn't feel personal, then it becomes a business affiliation, in your opinion. Yep. Yeah, there you go. Trump Reaper says Malcolm X came back from Mecca and was no longer bigoted. Yeah. Indeed. Your boy Ken saying, after that drought, we needed it. My grass was a mess. Oh, you know what? I heard that Mississippi is having a severe drought, or it's not a drought. They have no drinking water down there. That's awful. I cannot imagine that. I was watching the news today, and they said, here's what the officials in Mississippi were telling residents. When you shower, do not open your mouth. What? I can't even imagine that, because any of that, it's brown water. They have to shower with brown water. This is awful. It's awful. Watcher Soko says, in the hundreds today, and going to be in through the weekend, and 4 of LA's beaches are closed. To those of you who are in California, what I saw yesterday was that they are expecting temperatures going up to 125 degrees in the Death Valley area in California. So stay away from there if you're able to. And as high as 115 in other areas. That's a lot. That's very hot. Monique Lee says the governor of Mississippi is a damn moron. I'm assuming he is a Republican, yeah? All right, you guys. This has been Late Night with BDD. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate you guys, and I love you very much. I'm not sure when my next show is. I'm still having trouble finding people to come on the show. And Cindy, I have not seen your friend lately. I think her name is Sarah. Give her a little poke for me, would you please? She said she's watched the show a few times. Maybe she took some time off or whatever. But Cindy's friend is supposed to be helping me get guests for the show. And Lucielle, I missed you guys too. Yeah, I would like to get back to doing this on a more regular basis. Your boy Ken says, I finally caught a late night show. So here's the deal. I will usually do these things after 10:30, right? Right about 10:45, actually. And just because. That damn Alaskan said she's only here for the backseat music. Here's the other one. This is the other backseat music I did. One, two, three. Wait, I think that might be too loud, so I'm just going to go back to this one. Thank you, Cindy. And thank you guys all for joining me for another fun episode of Late Night with BDD. I'm your host, BDD Brooklyn Dad. And if you have not yet gotten your shot, get your shot. Get your vaccine, get your booster, whatever it may be. Also, wear a mask. Keep your social distance 6 feet or better. And have a lovely evening and an even better weekend. I will most likely see you at some point next week. It won't be, Labor Day Monday. Guys, have a wonderful Labor Day weekend. Stay cool. Those of you who are out on the West Coast in California, stay cool. And even more important, look out for those folks who are vulnerable. Those are our older folks, and even the younger ones who are running around out in the street not hydrating. Watch out for whoever you can watch out for. Have a great weekend, and I will keep you posted. I will let you know when I have a guest coming on the show. Most likely Wednesday. For some reason, that's the day I like to do the guest interviews. So until then, you guys be cool. I will see you here, same time, same place. I love you all. Peace. Here's another one from Veronica Tello saying, make sure your pets are safe. Eddie G wants to know, am I getting yet another vaccine? Because, child, I'm kind of done. Wifey and I just recently got our next vaccine. I forget when it was. I want to say it was around April or May. So I don't think we qualify for another one yet. So, I'm going to do whatever it is that the scientists recommend I do. I feel like I am kind of done too, honestly. Like if we're talking about number 5, but for whatever reason, these scientists, maybe they're increasing the efficacy of these vaccines or whatever. We got 4 shots. We have 4, so that's that. Sherry Scary says she's waiting for the 3rd booster until the new variant is covered. Yeah, that makes sense. At this point, we're all double vaxxed and double boosted. So, that's only going to last but for so long. But I like our chances if we do happen to get the Rona. Simon from Burnley, UK said hi. Thank you, Amanda. And say hi back to Simon for me, please. Thank you for that. Monique Lee with the update here saying the next booster won't be until later in the fall. Thank you for that. Hey, Xander Zork is here. What's up, my friend? I see you. You came just in the nick of time, just in time for the show to end. And with that, my friends, I love you all, but you don't gotta go home, but you can't stay here because it's that time. You need to leave.